Hey, I'm starting with it early today.
Hey everybody, this is not the glamour edition today. This is called life. This is called just waking up and starting right in with some things that need to be done around here today. So as you know, I've been going through my flock and kind of thinning it out, figuring out who I want to keep over the winter. So I had a few hens that needed to be processed this morning. Steve and I usually do this together with whatever children are around, but he had to work today and I just had a few, so I wanted to get it done. So I'm doing it old school style with hand plucking from a tree and a pot of water, which works okay if you're just doing a few. It's really not that big of a deal. It's not what I'd want to do for 50, but it works for a few. So the fun part today is that Steve is usually in charge of burning everything. So that's gonna be my job. I get to try to start a fire. Let's see how I do.
Looks like the barrel is already full of some dead leaves and branches and dry things. So hopefully I can get this thing going right away so it gets hot so that I can burn all the chicken leftover stuff.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's let the fire heat up and I'll go tell you about the chickens. I am down to 30 chickens now, and I know at least one of them is an extra cockerel that I won't be keeping. This is Blue. She's an Americana. She's a really, really good Americana as far as a standard goes. So I keep her around. She's been around for probably 4 or 5 years now, but my daughter wants to take a chicken to the fair and do well. She can take Blue there. So when I am selecting for this flock this year, I want a base of very good egg layers because I do have a few egg customers and we also do like to eat eggs. So I'm going to keep my white leghorns, however you say it, and golden comets. So I have a little base of reliable chickens that I know will lay. Since I work with Americanas and I work with black copper Marans, I will keep a base of those as well. So some of my hens that I know are reliable and the colors that I like to work with, I keep my olive eggers straight by keeping only the blue colored ones. So I need a few blue hens. I also like to keep a few bigger meat bird type hens around for that self-sustainability aspect of your own meat. So I'm definitely going to keep a Brahma or two. Those are the two so far that I am down to. I may keep them both. I may just keep one. Those chickens are meaty, big birds. So when I cross them with my Marans, I can get a very decent meat bird. And the Marans are also a great meat bird in themselves too. This is Bertha, a dark Cornish. She could be a good meat bird, but I have found when I cross them that they're kind of slower growing than just the purebred black copper Marans. So, but she's cute. I like to keep, I just think that they're cute. So I keep one of those. These are my Wheaton Americanas. And they're also for my Americana olive egger projects. So within this flock, I can do 2 purebreds, which are the black copper Marans, and I can do an Americana purebred if I keep a rooster of each of those breeds. And then I also can do olive eggers, which are a cross between the two, and they will lay olive eggs. Somewhere around here, I also have I have two cuckoo moran, and they are a barred hen. And if you may already know this, but if you don't, if you take a solid color male over a barred female, you will get a sex-link cross. So you can sex those at hatch, male and female. And when I do the cuckoos and the black hoppers, that is an excellent meat bird. So when you're growing them out, they're very quick growing if you want a little meat on the cockerels. So I definitely like to keep at least one or two of them around too for that. And some people like pullets. It's just easier to sell pullets that way because it makes a black sex-link hen. Okay, my fire's going. Actually, my fire's empty. I'm ready to start going. Okay, here goes some feathers. We're gonna see this smolder down. I'm gonna put them in with some cardboard. Those are always fun to watch burn, even though they just kind of smolder. Fortunately, there is no one. Fortunately, nobody lives out there for a couple miles, so I'm not going to bother them with my smoke today. Okay, here goes my bag of yuck. Seems like it's burning pretty good, so I think we've got this under control. It's a fairly easy cleanup. Now, I know a lot of people might compost this stuff or do amazing things with their feathers and insides, but we just really do not have the room or the property to do that, and it's just easier to just be done with it. In processing my older hens, I can't help but notice that they're very overweight. If we were doing a chicken edition of my 600-pound life, a lot of them could probably be on that. So I started noticing this last year. So I have really cut back on the feed that I'm giving them. I just way overfeed them, way overfeed treats. It is a very serious thing, and if you're not processing your hens, you may not notice it, but that definitely affects their health. It definitely affects their laying, causes all kinds of health problems. So I'm gonna be cutting back. There's Libby. Libby's one of our lifers here. Libby's another one. She's probably 4 or 5. She's a lavender Americana. She's very sweet. Someone asked once about Americanas being kind of crazy. These are my Wheatons out here too. I have found that the purebred actual breed Americanas that you get from a breeder are some of the nicest birds I've ever had. Very, very calm and sweet. Those Wheaton Americanas I actually thought were sick when they were chicks, because I could pick them up and they just kind of lay their wings out and just sit there. But they do the same thing now as adults. Now my Easter eggers, which are often sold as Americanas from hatcheries, feed stores, TSC. Those have been some of the craziest birds I've owned, next to the white leghorns. I like them. I've had some very, very funny ones, but they are certainly not pets, like pick up cuddly birds at all. But they're definitely better layers too than the purebred Americanas I've had, which really don't do very well. She's been busy trying to eat chicken feathers all morning. Don't let her fool you that she's just been laying around like that all day.